Okay, let's focus now on GFL, the big waste management stock. We are joined by the CEO, Patrick Dovigi. We've seen quite a rally in GFL. It's up about 50% from its 2024 low. Patrick, thank you very much indeed for joining us.
Hey, good morning.
Patrick, you just announced that deal to sell a majority stake in your environmental services unit. You got proceeds of more than $6 billion from that. Just remind us, though, how big a part of GFL overall was the environmental services? I mean, how much of your EBITDA will be going away?
Yeah, so it was about 17% of our revenue, similar in terms of EBITDA, so still keeping over sort of 83% of the business. And again, sold it for a very compelling price, around $8 billion, and expecting that transaction to close on March 1st, actually, with the proceeds coming into us on March 3rd.
One of the knocks against your stock has been a relatively high debt level. You plan to use something, well, actually more, maybe almost 2/3 of the money of the cash proceeds to cut your debt, and you want to bring your leverage down to 3 times.
Yeah, that's correct. About $3.7 billion will be used for debt repayment, and then the rest of the capital will be used for, organic opportunities, as well as, predominantly being used for share buybacks, particularly at these levels.
That's interesting. More than $2 billion could be used here for share buybacks. So your market cap about 25 billion Canadian.
Yeah, and I think what you're going to see is we filed our sort of normal course issuer bid paperwork to buy back up to 10% of the float. So, we get the proceeds on the 3rd, and I think you'll expect to see us be active buyers in the market of our stock, starting on March 4th. So anticipation is that we'll acquire up to sort of 300,000 to 500,000 shares a day on the U.S. line, as well as, somewhere between 50 and 75,000 shares on the Canadian line a day. So we're going to be pretty active buyers. We think there's significant upside to the stock from here, and obviously, the more amount of stock we can buy back at these levels, the better for us and all shareholders.
The share's at around $64 Canadian right now. At what price would you stop buying back the stock? What would be the ceiling?
I think from our perspective and the board's perspective, I think that, we believe that, given sort of looking at the opportunities we have in 26 and some of the dollars we've invested, that, today fair value for the company is minimum sort of $60 a share today. And obviously that's going to increase, as we continue on executing our plan for 25. But I think you'll see us buying sort of all the way up to $60 US today.
You're smaller than the 3 big rivals in North America. Do you want to get bigger? Is scale an advantage in this business?
For sure. I mean, listen, we operate in, probably 20 states, post-divestiture, it's about 20 states in the U.S., as well as 10 provinces in Canada. Our plan is doing exactly what we've done for the last 17 years. We feel very good with the geographies we're in, and now we're just going to continue densifying those existing markets we're in and utilizing the assets that we have, particularly ones where they're, underutilized assets with a fixed cost base of facilities that we can just drive more volume into. And, the playbook is the same. It's been the same for 17 years. I don't anticipate it's going to change today. We're just going to keep doing what we've done for a long period of time. We've created significant shareholder value over the last 17, 18 years, 12 or 13 of those years being sort of as a private company, and the last sort of 5 as a public company. Obviously the last 5 were extraordinary circumstances, again, with COVID and then crazy inflationary environment, a little bit more volatility of the name. But if you look, our stock is up 150% since the IPO. And I think, we've outperformed every other one of the waste peers. And I think the strategy works, and it has worked for a long period of time. And again, I just think you're going to continue seeing more exactly of the same as what we did for a long period of time.
And just remind us, how do you basically make money? It's solid waste, collecting waste from households and businesses?
Yes, I mean, lion's share of the business today, again, that 83% that we kept, again, collecting all forms of waste streams from industrial commercial uses as well as municipalities. And, Now, in Canada, a portion of what we're going to be doing is be collecting recycling on behalf of producers under the Extend Their Producer Responsibility Program. So, and then obviously we bring them into our transfer stations, recycling facilities, and landfills, as well as our organic waste facilities as well. So, and then we recently diversified into building renewable natural gas plants at our landfill. So again, we have multiple different revenue streams, and the earnings are going to come out of from each of those sort of four pillars.
Patrick, we have to ask you, as kind of the elephant in the room, these incidents involving arson of trucks, a shooting, bullets aimed at your house in Rosedale, Toronto. Trucks were set ablaze in Windsor, Ontario. There was a shooting at Green Infrastructure Partners, a spin-off in Vaughan, Ontario. What is going on? Why has your company been attracting violence like that?
We don't have the answer to that question, but, from what we hear from police is that they're very close to an arrest. Sounds like one person's already in custody and have leads on a couple of others that they're just waiting for some final information on before they actually press charges. And, I think we'll all learn soon enough. But what I can say is we've always competed fairly. We've been doing this for 17 to 18 years. We've never had an incident like this. It'll be interesting to see sort of what comes of it. But, we put our trust in both the police department in York Region as well as in the city of Toronto. And, they assure us that resolution is around the corner, and, we'll see what comes of that.
You must have a good idea of what's going on here, though. What is going on? Why would your company be attracting shootings and arson?
I actually don't know.
Come on. You must have a decent idea.
There's obviously different theses. I'm not going to step in the way of I'm not going to step in front of, a police investigation, but we'll all learn soon enough.
So you're resorting to the old, well, it's in the hands of the police. It's a little hard to buy that. You know pretty well. You're a smart cookie. Who is attacking your company's facilities?
I wish I knew, but we're going to learn soon enough.
Okay, we'll have to leave it there. Patrick, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you so much.
Patrick.